Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
FDA has full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. Okay, you weird liars, you can get it now. But it wasn't that anyway, was it? But you can get it now.
That's got to be a big deal, right?
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We actually can say we'll see. And you know what? While you're there, grab a pack of cigarettes. That's FDA approved. And we can all party with all the fun things that the FDA has allowed in the universe. Thank you, FDA. You're so important.
I was waiting for the approval, but what if, these weirdos, they're the people that on election day aren't shy about going, I'm still undecided. What else can you give me? How about you get the shot? We give you $100. Maybe I'm interested.
Well,
no,
now
that's going to be everything. Oh, that's going to be everything? Okay, I'll do it.
Well, or now you're more suspect because now you're trying to pay me to do it.
Right.
So how do I trust that?
Sure. It's just Keith and Chemda today with you. Okay, so
Hello.
we're going to get into some real shit. You know what I mean? Hey, how about that hurricane? You didn't get it too bad, I guess, right?
No. And this is the thing. I feel like I should have been more nervous about that. I know Xerxes got an alert on his phone saying, and it showed the region on the map and it showed us like, this is where it's going to be destroying everything. And I'm like, should we be packing something? And, we have a gazebo in the back. Like, is that going to fly away? Like it's the Wizard of Oz or something? And it was bad rains.
There was a free concert in Central Park, and it was supposed to get people vaccinated. If you were vaccinated, you could attend this concert. Bruce Springsteen, Elvis Costello, Paul Simon. All the kids are talking about these three nowadays. Oh, Paul Simon. Your dad's not going to this concert at night. Oh, Elvis Costello. Yes, 25-year-old Elvis Costello will be there. Well, anyway, you're like, is it going to be a super spreader event? Don't worry. It was in the middle of a hurricane. There were no problems. They had to cancel it.
Okay. Maybe they canceled it because they realized it's too late for the demographic.
Right.
So I wonder if that's availability, which is probably more likely, or is it that's the demographic that's refusing to get vaccinated?
Maybe.
Is it the newer people with the older people, and the in-between are just like, we realize life is just the next thing, so let's get the next thing.
It's all, I don't know. Chet Hayes is beautifully young. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of emails about how lover is not a good word for somebody you actually love.
Isn't that interesting? It's such a wonderful word when you think about it. I'm calling you my lover, the person I love, the person I make love to, the person who I shoot my love towards. And it's just disgusting and filthy. Who do we blame?
I shoot my love towards her all the time, all over her. And if that's not a lover, she tweeted out, this really happened. Kyle, you can follow her on at Ocasio Kyle. Quote, send me a dick pic. Haven't gotten one in a while. I actually got that. Accidentally sent to a 70-year-old personal training client, not my boyfriend. This will be an awkward session. Now, first of all, more important than any of this, who sends dick pics? Lovers. This is something a lover would say. Send me a dick pic.
You are so mistaken. That's so funny. Okay, everything you just said about the word lover explained to me why we're not saying that word anymore. Every time you defined it or said where you're going to put it, I'm like, yep, still not using that word. That word is just going to have to fall on the side for a while.
It's sad. I want a lover.
Yep, that's the tone. And I really thought about it. I asked Xerxes and he's like, you can call me that. I prefer you not. And I'm like, yeah, I prefer you not either. And it's such a lovely word.
Right. Follow Keith and the Girl, of course, on social media. We're under everything with Keith and the Girl. And when we say make sure you hit like, I hope you understand. It's not really, I could see me, a person like me out there being like a 47 years old. You need me to tap your head and go, I liked it. I like you. Are you going to make it through the day today? No, when you hit like, it shows whatever you just liked to more people. Also, it shows you more of the same type of thing. So you're getting more of what you legitimately like. That's why the likes are important. I don't know if we just look like sad people, like, did they please you today? Let us know we pleased you today for you and to spread the word in general. That's why that's important. Anyway, I saw on Twitter somebody, this guy Ed, he wrote, make Eric Andre, the comedian, the Jeopardy host, the prank guy. And I said, you know what? I agree, but Eric Andre has to take it seriously. So he can smirk accidentally, but once he forces a smirk for laughs, his head explodes. What do you think of that?
I like it. Did you also see the one where I think it was Anthony DeVito or Joe DeVito? Fuck, there's too many of you out there.
It's
but
okay.
anyway,
it's for the DeVitos. It's the family.
Yeah. The family did really good this week. Right. And they tweeted, let OJ be the host.
No.
He knows about double Jeopardy.
Okay.
And then somebody responded saying, at least let him give it a stab. And then the DeVito family wrote, killer.
Yeah, that sounds like Joe for sure. New movie is out that I loved and do not recommend. Now that I'm learning what words are. It's called The Protege.
I like this category, and I think it should be a category on Netflix or something, like a different like button. I like, but I don't recommend. I think that tells the whole story.
Right. Michael Keaton, who I love, and I can't tell you why. Michael Keaton and Kurt Russell are the poison of music. They're not the best, but they're the best.
Do you love but not recommend them?
It really depends. But this is an action movie. Michael Jackson, Michael Keaton, Samuel L. Jackson, Maggie Q. It got 60% of Rotten Tomatoes, and I agree with that. And still, I loved it. And Michael Keaton's really always the same. When he's if you saw him in Batman, when he's going toe to toe with the Joker as Bruce Wayne, he's like, You want to see nuts? Let's get nuts. And he lifts his shoulders in a way and kind of sniffs. And that's him in every movie when he's being a badass. I love him. And the movie is, it's one of these movies that's like, oh, we're at a dead end. Actually, there's a nun. I know that. I'm like, of course there's a nun. You know that. Let's go see them. It's an hour, 40 minutes in already. But I love him so much. It's that the movie's great.
What's the movie called?
The Protege.
The Protege. It's in, excuse me, it's in theaters?
It's in movie theaters now, yeah. It did all right. Not great, but all right.
So you would like and recommend, but not recommend those actors, and you would like and not recommend this Protege.
Yes.
And you were saying, okay, you like the way their face is made. It's so interesting because I see there are very few actors that I see, but I'm like, oh, that's the one from the other place, right? When they pop up in another movie.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, they're still making the same faces they made when they were doing this other character. And then I have to remind myself, that's their face.
Right.
Like, that's their face. If I were to be in a movie and I would have to say, like, what do you want from me? My shoulders would move the same way. My hand would move the same way. And I would be the same character. This is how my face looks annoyed. So I'm just like, why can't they make another? Like, that's the face you used when you played that character. Get a different face. Disappear into the role. I demand a lot.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson's like, what should my character do? And it's like, say motherfucker less. Okay. I could do that. Okay.
But like with your face, say it more with your words, less with your face.
But Michael Keaton, I paid extra attention to, knowing he's got to be old, and he is. He's 69, and for doing action, I mean. And so because I'm paying extra attention, I don't know if I'm ruining it for me, but like he'd be thrown in a window. I'm making sure I'm like, yep, that was your back the whole time. But even when he gets up and grabs something, he's energetic. Liam Neeson is the same age, 69, and he is a slow, doddering idiot. And Michael Keaton can still do it, is my point. He can still jump around. Now, if class breaks, of course, it's the back of his head. But very quickly, he does some kind of flip over the table when you saw his face. And I'm like, look at you.
If I was Michael Keaton, I'd be like, is this a good review of my action?
This is a compliment. This is a compliment. You can still do action at 69.
Okay.
Yes.
You're old but mobile, and I approve.
Right.
How generous of you.
So do you see it or not see it? Yep, that's the hang up, isn't it?
Okay, what was bad about it? Like, if you were a regular human.
If there were other actors in it, it'd be it'd be silly the way, you know what, silly. It's one of these movies where everything happened to work right at the right moment. And if that happened, that so someone could survive. If that happened once, like the gun hit your police badge, you can look down and go, oh, motherfucker, that was crazy. And then have a normal movie. But there's so many of those things. So she knows she's going to be patted down for weapons and stuff, Maggie Q. So, but she has to meet the main guy and kill him. So she sends and this isn't the big ending or anything, but she sends cigars in the mail to his company. Then she gets patted down. She's in the main room. There are the cigars. Surprise. One of the cigars has a knife in it. So you knew you would send the cigars and the cigars would be left on the main guy's table because he loves those cigars so much. Like you would be dead if those cigars didn't make it there. And then there's 50 of those.
Okay. So that's kind of how I feel about, oh my God, the movie with the whole thing. Everyone's half robot. Half the people are robots. They're in a whole nother world. It's called Westworld. That's what it's called. Okay, we got there. That was fun. All right. I see why you like the show. So in Westworld, I'm like, this is so fucking deep and amazing. And you generated this thing and everything is really actually aligned. Like, I believe that would happen. But in order for the robots to uprise and to continue to uprise, these stupid fucking things happen. And I'm like, all right, I could forgive one and like work it out where you wrote it this way and whatever, but we're going to keep watching it. And I figure at the end, all of those things kind of relieve themselves and it's worth it. But some of the stuff, in order to get to a deeper level of this story, just that's too crazy. Like things like, there's this one robot the robots start remembering things, which is an issue because you're rebooting them to start a new story.
They're not going to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because now they're remembering the pain of like these people on vacation coming to your town just to shoot and rape you.
A lot of rape for a family destination. But that's the Wild West.
A lot of rape. Looking for rape because you can just have sex with literally anyone. They're programmed to enjoy you and like be after you or whatever you want. No. I'm going to go rape because I need to let it out. It's good. I'm doing it in this world. It's safe. So now the robots are remembering occurrences of like being shot down and maimed and raped by these people. So then, one of them starts taking over. And then in order for her to get into the next level, the robot to get into the next level, she has to be shut down by the team who's helping her under duress, right? And then rebooted into this new place. So you got to shut her down and we got to turn her back on if she's going to get us somehow. Shut her down, throw her in the wood chipper or whatever the fuck. The end. She restarts, starts a whole fucking revolution. All of you are dead. Congratulations. What a great plot. It's a whole where I'm like, I get that we have to get to the robots uprising, but
yeah, sometimes you picture writers are like, no, we got to go home already. Okay. They reboot it. They're horny. They want to see her again. She's hot, right? She's one of the main ones. She's hot.
Right. She is the head of the hookers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you make an ugly robot for what? They're paying money to come here.
And what a weird thing to play as an actor is you actually essentially have to be perfect. And then like you can't age out. You will age out like in a couple of years because you're a robot and you're not actually made of robot. So Westworld had 5 years before all the women age out.
Yes. All right. So I have a dad update of sorts. Meaning not related to the recent Vulture article and not related to me sending that article through Kat's fake old email. But it's exciting stuff. I was thinking.
Wait, we need if this is your first episode, let's just give you a little bit of source material. KeithandTheGirl.com/dad. That's the whole saga. Now, so he referenced the /dad thing, meaning Keith was catfishing his father through an email that's supposed to be his ex-wife. That sounds crazy. It absolutely was. There's a whole year of the back and forth. Separately than that, Keith's mom is in a home because she has Alzheimer's and it's rapidly taking
She can't
over.
talk. She can't talk, right?
Yeah.
And the catfishing was sexual, of course.
Yeah,
right?
sure. Of course. Well, what is catfishing for? And now you have to take care of the affairs of your family, right? You're going there this weekend to clean out your house because your father moved out of your childhood home.
We're more cleaning out to see if we won anything. I don't know if he's necessarily even selling it yet.
That's the same thing.
I understand,
Yeah.
but I'm not sitting down with a lawyer. Do you know what I
have
mean?
to sit down with a lawyer?
I'm just saying I'm not really doing some great thing where, it's going to be tough putting these affairs in order. I'm grabbing a book that I remember as a kid and I'm leaving.
Okay, I see. So you're clearing out before he gets to clear out more.
Maybe there's a fun toy. I don't know, but there's got to be some fun stuff. Right? We'll see. Maybe he threw it all out. He enjoys throwing things out. I noticed it's funny how seeing emails that he writes to my siblings. He doesn't talk to me now. Ever since I told him about all this, the catfishing stuff. He denies it, but I'm like, no, it was me. I saw everything because I read. He's like, there's more you don't know. Well, there's not more. You wrote me. I wrote everything. He's hoping I make something up. Like, did Kat do this? And there's some kind of confusion. There's no plan that anything else ever happened behind my back. So he rates when he rates the siblings, he's like, Keith owes me a big apology. There's things you don't understand. And I do think even one-on-one, me and him, he still expects and hopes. He still hopes, not expects, but he hopes that I'm going to repent. He would still grab onto that, even though it would make no fucking sense. And it made me think of this. If he wanted to, is God able to control the devil? Now, God knows everything through time and space, but is he still kind of waiting for the devil to repent? Is God that much of a fucking sicko? I bet he is. I bet he is. I'm still waiting. Well, I won't. And you made me to not. Right. But if you did, I'd be nice. I'm unable to. Yeah, but I'll be here if you decide to.
Whoa, if that is what God and the devil is, then yeah, your father really does have a God complex. No shit. Like I don't want to say I truly believe that he thinks he could talk to God because that's not a thing, but he truly believes that you should believe he can talk to God.
Well, it leads to this. I have Dad's obituary. He's still alive. I have his
that you wrote.
No, that my dad wrote.
To who?
And sent it to the family for the newspaper.
His obituary.
He wrote it and he sent it to us with quotes from us that we obviously didn't make. And my upbringing was so insane. And Chemda said this many times. I don't know what's insane and what's not. And I didn't know how sick and weird this was until I was in OMAD this morning. And Bethany said, hey, any update from the article? I'm like, no, there won't be. My dad will try to ignore it. And I go, well, since we're talking, I did get my dad's obituary written by my dad. And she goes, whoa. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's crazy, right?
So Bethany wrote the show today.
Yeah.
Bethany's like, approved. Yeah.
Exactly. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought it was a big deal.
Oh, God.
It's like when I saw the Capitol being overrun, right? The insurgents, where I'm like, I think it's nuts, but I'm not really sure because the whole country's insane. And then even Fox News at the time said, whoa, this is nuts. And I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah. I didn't know if we were calling this nuts or not. That's what this is. Wow.
Yeah, your gauge is way off. You really don't understand what's weird. And it's just all of it. It's all of it. So where do you put an obituary? Is this for you guys to put out in the newspaper?
We're supposed to contact the following churches, blah, 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 any church he was ever at, and ask them to put it on the internet.
Shut up. That's your instructions?
Yes.
To contact how many churches?
I believe 5.
5 churches.
St. Peter and Paul. There's one in, 2 different cities. There's 2, Peter's Catholic Church, where we went to, and then somewhere in Duquesne. So about 4 churches.
4 churches, and they're supposed to contact the internet.
Yes. Yeah.
Please read this to us.
Okay, I'll read
Please.
parts. There we go. But it
Okay.
is fantastic. First of all, he not only wrote his, he wrote my mom's. And it's funny how young her picture is compared to his.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm like, were they even together then? Is she in high school? But okay.
We're not supposed to write our own obituaries, right? No.
I don't think so.
Somebody else has to write it.
It'd be cooler to be in a frat house and ask for a nickname. No, we give it to you when we're ready. We'll say things about you. Obviously, it's going to be nice. Or you and you have to rate your own.
No, you have control issues, so you write your own. That's like writing your own roast jokes.
Right.
Like
this guy's a big, hey, let me tell you about this piece of shit. Actually, my best friend.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Chemda always wears that sweater and it looks the best on her. Why is this even funny? It's not. You're the best, Chemda.
Princess Catherine Malley's obituary. I've never heard him call her a princess in my life. Never, certainly didn't treat her like one.
I just threw up a little in my mouth. Yeah. Why are we calling a grown adult a princess?
Well, you'll find out.
Oh, that's worse somehow. Okay.
The Almighty One, through his only begotten Son and our Savior Jesus. By the way, this is full page. Admitted his beautiful and charming child, Princess Catherine May Malley, into his house of paradise on blank. We can fill in the date when the time comes.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't fill in the blank. He's so all-knowing.
Where there is no pain, no sadness, no suffering, no loneliness, no hunger, no thirst, no feelings of uselessness, and no physical limitations, just pure joy. This is one of my five things that my dad just rattles off. You know what I mean? This would have been in the dad emails, somewhere. Okay. It's just something he spurts out. A female, upon marriage to a Byzantine Carpatho-Russian priest.
He's Russian?
He's Byzantine Carpatho-Russian.
Oh, okay.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Automatically inherits the title of Pani, P-A-N-Y, pronounced Panji, and that title has been formally translated into the English language as princess. So he's saying if you marry a priest with 5 titles like he has, then the woman becomes a princess. Because she was lucky enough to do such a thing. I'm the guy. She is now a princess. So we will lovingly refer to her, has nothing to do with me, to her as a princess, which she is, Carpatho-Russian.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
Panji Catherine, as per earlier, was born on blah, 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 and blah, 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 grew up in West Mifflin. She was the cherished wife of Reverend Mike G. Malley.
What? The what wife?
The cherished wife.
Oh, the cherished.
Of the Reverend Mike G. Malley.
The Reverend?
Yeah, you can. You're a father. You're also a reverend. So he already covered the priest stuff. Let's throw in the word reverend now.
But he is not a reverend anymore.
Once a priest, always a priest. We were told our whole life.
It's exactly the opposite.
So she's still a princess and he's still a priest and a reverend and a father and a Byzantine and our Carpatho-Russian. They were married on blah, blah, blah. Reverend Malley received his dispensation to marry directly from Pope Paul VI.
What date, sir? Because your dates are off.
Right, because you
didn't have the date.
You had Mike out of wedlock. Catherine's beloved husband either predeceased or survives her. That's underlined. Change that as the time comes. Yeah, he shook hands with Pope Paul VI. Get out of town. That's in my mom's obituary. Like, in case people go, wait a minute, a priest? No, I don't want AA to look bad. Here's what you have to understand. The Pope Paul VI personally stared into my eyes and said, it's okay, you may marry. So I don't want anybody to misunderstand anything. Panji Kathy was also the beloved mother of 5 children on earth and one with who she is now united with in heaven.
Was that baby stillborn?
It was a stillborn. No offense, but I had 2 personally. My body. Everybody has stillborns nowadays. What?
No, wait. Was it a stillborn or was it a miscarriage?
A miscarriage, even. It fell in the toilet. So what? So yeah, it wasn't born and then died.
Okay, that's different. A stillborn is different.
It fell out like goo.
Like within the first 5 months or something?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, that's traumatic, but
Sure.
yikes.
But now it's like, okay, who's the sixth kid that you don't name? Up in heaven, no questions.
Did they name the kid?
No.
Okay, some people do
No.
that. Okay.
My brother wanted to, my older brother. He goes, let's name her Marshmallow. So maybe it was best. It would have been a kid after me. We went with Christy instead of Marshmallow in the long term. But
Lord. Did they know the sex of that baby? Just curious how far along. No. Okay.
5 children on earth, one of who is now united with in heaven. That doesn't bring up more questions or weirdness, but okay. Still remaining on earth are her children, Michael II, Keith, Christy, Mark, and Kenneth. Punji Kathy was very proud of her children's educational accomplishments. Then he lists some. Mine is Keith learned his podcasting knowledge through diligent self-teaching. Oh, thanks, Dad.
Okay.
Kenneth has 2 master's degrees. Ken does the VIP show that we do, Daddy Issues, which carried along the dad saga. Kenneth has 2 master's degrees, is an ordained transitional deacon.
Is he all those things?
What does that mean? So a transitional my brother was very clear. He quit the priest. He quit practicing to be a priest. He quit it. He decided he doesn't believe in it after all. Did the right thing.
Never became a priest, right?
Never became a priest. So my dad is in weird denial or wants to look like a good person and say, hey, I have a son. He's transitioning right now. From what? Not being one, and he will later? He was very clear he's not going to.
That's like saying your child is transitioning for another job. And it's like, well, they're just unemployed.
Yeah. So is he waiting for the next job to? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All 5 children are very successfully employed.
Okay.
It's a Christmas card. It's that stupid things that families give out. Like, just what you know, all the kids are doing great, but it's more about me. This is an obituary, but we all have work.
Now, how would his be different than hers then?
Oh, you'll see.
Okay.
Catherine was not only cherished an inspirational wife and mother, but a very popular and successful businesswoman in her own right. The end.
No.
There's more, but that's the end of what she did in life.
Oh.
She was a successful business person in her own right.
Was she a business person?
She managed stores.
She managed stores?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has received many corporate awards. Okay, I get probably. Probably she did.
Corporate awards.
You're like, hey, here's a pizza. You did the top sales in the area this week.
Oh. Employee of the month.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Who knows?
I mean, that's I'm not shitting on it.
But does it go on the gravestone? She was good in her own right. In her own right?
Isn't this written by someone who doesn't know this person personally? This is your wife of how many years now? At least 50, right?
At least 50. Yeah. Yeah, because he thought he was flirting with my ex when he was talking to me, and he was bragging about 51 years. Which, by the way, can ruin a lover's attitude, Dad.
Can I use lover there, Dad?
Quote, oh, how she will be missed. She was the glue that held us together and inspired us all, end quote, exclaimed her husband. We got a pen and paper just in time as this was being exclaimed.
Oh my God. He wrote his final words about
this
her.
Is written by the head of the newspaper, I guess, when you read it. And they called that and got a quote, I suppose you're supposed to think. Because this is written exactly like those articles about him being a magician was written, where he acted like the newspaper was writing it. Mally is a force to be reckoned with.
Right. Wow.
Enjoy God's eternal paradise, Catherine. This is more of a quote. Exclaimed her husband. Then the quote begins again. Enjoy God's eternal paradise, Catherine, and may we, your husband and children, relatives and friends, always find memories of you, resting gently in the recesses of our minds.
He pronounced.
He pronounced, I remember it fondly.
So that's what he's anticipating he's going to say when his wife died. Oh, in the moment that I last heard your breath, you were the glue. Oh, I am devastated. He didn't even say words like devastated, will be missed, was the warmth in a place even when it's cold, like none of that.
There will be no public repast after the funeral services except for the immediate family. No, you sure? So he's saying after the funeral, no, you do not like hang out at my house. There's no reception of any kind anywhere. That's just for the immediate family. You don't know anyone else. So who's this for in the first fucking place? And then you had to add the lie like, but no, but these are the people on social media that go, thanks for all the birthday wishes. And you're like, I just scrolled. There were none, but you're welcome. Sorry, everybody, you can't come. Like, yeah, we weren't gonna, but I guess other people would. Yeah, they must be, right? I mean, there must be other people. Yeah, I guess he's a person. He must have had a life with other people. Yeah. Okay. We'll respect the privacy, I guess. I mean, we would have anyway. Who is he?
I just like, who do you guys won't be able to call anyone when either one of your parents die?
Right.
To be like, hey, it's my parents' funeral.
Yeah.
Think of one person aside from your siblings who will know at the same time as you. Who are you calling?
That I grew up with. Nobody. No sibling, no family, nothing.
So if your mom actually passes first, your father has to put together a funeral and pretend to contact other people.
Right.
Like, who's even going to be on, like, by his side for the first week? If there was a shiva like they do in Jewish faith where people come over all week, no one would be there.
Right.
And this is you guys you grew up in a very small town where you literally know so-and-so lives there, and I can go down the block and so-and-so lives here, and here's who owns this building and all that stuff. And nobody knows your parents.
Oh, the guy that tried to sell us insurance in the movie theater? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember him.
He couldn't even go to church and make friends.
The guy that creeped around the high school so that he can look through windows and see if his kids were paying attention during class? Yeah, I remember Mally. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, well. At the funeral, songs to be played will be by Jim Reeves during visiting hours. Jim Reeves songs include, and they list like 6 songs. So about 20 minutes of music, and then, got the fuck home. You don't got to visit that long. Then it repeats.
Have you heard of this Jim Reeves person?
No.
Is it Christopher's cousin?
Mom never played it. Mom was pretty hip, follow your heart, your intuition. She loved that song. She understood music. If it was in the top 10, she got it. It wasn't like Jim Reeves. No offense to the Reeves. I've never heard of him. I'm his son is my point. I've never heard Jim Reeves, but we played at both their funeral. Spoiler, both their funerals. You're supposed to play those songs for him too. Same 5 songs on loop, but only during visiting hours, son.
So he doesn't know one of your mom's songs that she likes.
Right.
Not one.
I did. I know. Stop in the Name of Love. I played it at my wedding with the Dance with Her. I snuck it into another song. Oh, clever. Because I knew she loved that. Because we had a cute little act out when I was a child. My dad knows nothing she likes.
Wow. 51 years.
At least. Yeah.
You don't know her favorite song, or what? Like, favorite song is hard. You don't know the genre of music that she wants to listen to.
Right. Like if Kyle was confused, like, is Poison his favorite band or is it Aerosmith? You'd be close.
Pick both. It's a long funeral.
Right. We have 20 minutes. Pick both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Garments. And then he lists how he wants people buried. And for both of them, they'll be buried with a cross. And he says, and as for the wedding band, that will be supplied. So I guess he's given it, I don't know. He's given it ahead of time to the funeral home, but to be removed, supplied. So I guess that means it'll be on him. That's his way of saying that, I guess. But to be removed before casket is closed for final time, given to husband. If husband is predeceased, then to be offered to Michael II, the old. Now, this list I'm going to give you, I assumed it'd go Mike, Keith, Christy, Mark, Ken, the order of us being made. It's not. It's obviously written in order. If we would ever joke like, hey, who's your favorite? Here's the list.
Wait, and this is amazing.
Yeah.
But is he saying that before you close the casket to say goodbye at the funeral,
Yeah.
you will remove the finger? So if dad is still alive, he's removing mom's ring at the funeral and keeping it.
Yeah.
If both of them are dead, whoever's in the casket at the time, the following people will take it in order. And what, just in case one of you is dead, then the other one gets
God forbid. But I'm sorry, these things need to be talked about. And my kids are morons. I remember when they shut their pants at 2 months.
Okay. What is their wedding ring made of?
Right.
What could it be?
Yeah. Fine pewter. I mean, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
If husband is predeceased, then to be offered to Michael II. If he does not want it, so he's still alive. We're all alive.
Michael is first. If he doesn't want it, so you're second, right? So it should go to you now.
Then offered to Mark.
Wait, we're skipping 2 people.
Yes, we're skipping Christy.
Oh, who can't ask someone to marry because she's a woman.
Oh, well, maybe? However, no, because, and I'll get to dad's obituary. Mm-hmm. This is mom's I'm reading now. His has the set. He just copied and pasted the end of that to his. Okay. So it's still the same order for his.
Okay.
So it's a male ring that she can use on her boyfriend of so many years, but she's still out of order in the list.
Okay, weird. I don't know what Christy did. She's usually nice.
We're guessing that Mark recently helped him with a computer problem.
Oh.
And now now you're up in the list right now. This can change at any time, by the way.
Okay.
That'd be funny. Like, hey, quick update. Move Christy up one. Thank you, guys.
As if it matters. Like, he's not even sending this to a lawyer or anything. It's just you should know I like you in the following order.
We're all going to look at each other, put the ring, and rules are rules. You guys understand, right? This list was to make it simple. Even if we don't agree, we just go with it, and it's simple. And Mark is next. So what's the problem?
He loves trying to cause trouble between you all.
And then Christy's like, when I was a kid, I used to play with mom's ring. It was fun. No, it goes to Mark.
You all are so lucky that none of you fight about this. This could easily be a fight. Like if Christy
Dad made it easy. Dad made it easy that none of this stuff is a fight.
Yeah, he's trying to instigate so hard. And if it was my siblings, and I think you guys deal the same, if Christy said something special about the ring on mom's finger, it's yours.
Of course.
I don't give a shit. It's yours. Take both because they're set and you don't want them to be separate. What the fuck?
If husband is predeceased, offer it to Mike II. If he does not want it, offer it to Mark. If he does not want it, offer it to Christy. If he does not want it, offer it to Kenneth. If he does not want it, then offer it to Keith.
Oh, I can't believe you were even mentioned. If he doesn't want it, throw it out.
Right. If no one wants it, then give it to the priest for the benefit of the church.
Okay. What a gift.
The priest goes, no, thank you. Notify all children and persons listed below. There's only one person listed below, by the way, that I don't recognize the person's name. It's a couple. Friends, in parentheses, friends. It's like, I wonder. But that's it. Other than that, it's just our names.
Wow.
Directly or indirectly, if Mike, my dad, predeceases Catherine, contact these people. Son, Michael II. He's sending this to us. Son, Michael II. Okay. And everybody has a phone number. Keith, contact indirectly through Kenneth. He's like, I don't know how to reach you. Really?
Wow.
Can you go through Kat?
Oh my God.
I don't know how to do it. He's playing weird. Sorry.
Wow. He's so bad at fishing. He always uses the wrong bait. Right. He always just waits too long. The river's not right. Like everything you do is not working. And siblings fight. And you guys refuse, you motherfuckers. Right. I keep trying everything to make you hate each other and love me.
Yeah. So now this is my dad's obituary that he, of course, wrote for himself. The Almighty One, through his only begotten Son, no thirst, no feelings of uselessness, et cetera, right? Then this is a 5-page spread. So I'll just read a couple things. It explains why the wife is Panji, a princess because you married him. He can get that into this version
into
as
his
well.
obituary.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. During his ministerial services to the church, Father Malley was very popular conducting entertaining, motivational, and historically religious-based lectures on radio, television, and stage throughout the entire United States. Now, we, of course, covered this in the dad emails, you know.
But with her obituary, yeah, she must have done something special because somebody gave her an award in some corporate place.
Right. In her own right. In her own right.
I was on radio, television, and movies. He contemplated a podcasting career, but decided to stay out of the devil's work.
I think he's trying like fake news, you know? Everybody's going to be like, yeah, I've never seen you on any of these things. I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was.
Yeah. And I also think like a huge part of him believes that he was, or at least that he was good enough to, and that should count as he did it.
Right. Once dispensed from his priestly responsibilities.
Dispensed?
Matt, he did not last long at all, by the way, as a priest. He wanted to get married.
I think your mother's house was the first house he blessed or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
he was like new. I think he had like he was behind another waiter that was, you know, he was shadowing.
Right. Malley served, once dispensed from his priestly responsibilities, from his good friend, the Pope. I'm just joking. Malley served in the capacities dealing with magical entertainment, all caps, life insurance, and investment sales and rating. You know, the usual. How do you find the time? I remember naps, but okay. I remember yells and naps, but he
did write 2 books.
Magical entertainment, life insurance and investment sales, and rating.
Doesn't this make you feel like he actually didn't know what your mom ever did for a living?
Right.
Because he could have said managed.
Right.
Yeah, was the manager of several these
Brooks
kinds of
Brothers,
stores.
Pierre Cardin. Yes.
Those were actual jobs that you could put in. He was so general about what she did. I think if you asked your father anything, like he would fail any newlywed or oldly wed or whatever.
Here, I'll be my dad. You ask what mom did for a living.
What did mom did for a living?
I never wanted her to work. And ever since she started, you resented me as if I made her. Wow. Like, no, I didn't.
And you didn't know your childhood was weird. Everything you say one normal thing about your childhood. I'm serious. Please say something normal about your childhood.
I had teachers and stuff.
That's a law thing.
Right.
It's like lawful shit. Like he was forced to send you outside of the house for a certain number of hours. Right. Good luck. Think about it. Get back to us.
Oh, that's not fair. He was delighted to be the father of 5 successful children on earth. First of all, the word is definitely not delighted. Trust me. All his kids are laughing at that. The word's not delighted.
He left his junk in there and God was right. Children would come.
You know, every time he came, he went, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I know where this leads to. He was delighted to be the father of 5 successful children on earth, and one with whom he is now united with in heaven, along with his cherished wife, Princess Catherine. Still remaining on earth are his 5 children, Mike II, Keith Christie, Dr. Mark, he is a doctorate, and Deacon Kenneth.
Oh, for this one, he already made it, Kenneth. He is a deacon.
Or he's still a deacon, not a priest, but he's a deacon. But no, he denounces that shit. So you don't use the word, it'd be offensive to use the word deacon.
Yeah, but in your mom's obituary, he was on his way.
He was a transitional priest. Here, we'll call it something different so I can get in deacon as well.
But you know why? Because your mom died first, and then he had time to become a deacon by the time. Like it's a timeline here. He
should underline it. Because when you underline things, that means we can do it on the fly. Otherwise, we won't know what to do. He always thought highly. Now, this is absolutely true. I'm not making this up. Next paragraph. He always thought highly of his children and desired only their happiness and success. Sometimes they may have thought that he was too strict in getting them to accomplish certain tasks, but their successes indicate that it all paid off for them in the end.
He wrote this for himself.
Yeah, he wrote it actually for us to read and be like, oh, thank you, Dad.
How do we sit here in silence while recording just so we can regain our strength?
He always thought highly of his children, desired only their happiness and success. Sometimes they may have thought he was too strict in getting them to accomplish certain tasks, but their successes indicate that it all paid off for them in the end.
So he's taking credit for all of your success.
Yes. And if you heard a story from the kids about how they were raised a certain way, trust me, they didn't like it at first, but in the end, and we got to be tough, don't we, parents? Thank you. We all agree? Okay, let's get back to me hiring princesses.
And who wrote this? Like in his mind, who's writing this?
The newspaper.
The newspaper is deciding, like, he gave his kids a pretty darn tootin' hard time.
But hear us out at the Somerset Daily American. Hear us out. We're all working on this. People have something to say.
You know what? You should write an obituary when he dies, and it should be very general, and then leave a link to the dad emails.
Well, the kids are saying, well, actually, no, mom wouldn't want this obituary, and they're writing one right now for his approval. But there's no way it's like, who is this shit for? They're saying, there's no way he's going to agree to it. They're wasting the time.
I don't know why they're asking for his approval. Right. Now he's playing. So now it doesn't matter what you're doing. He's getting what he wants.
Father Mike was extremely popular in the seminary and exceedingly so in his pastoral duties.
What?
Okay. He wasn't popular. He was a dork. And my brother, when he went into the seminary, starts asking around like, hey, what was Father Malley like? This kind of thing. Nobody had a story. And when they did, it was, he would get rides to us sometimes when we needed it. That's the biggest story. He was a dork. He was exceedingly popular. He was the coolest. He has weak legs now because he was carried around from building to building throughout seminary for his great friendliness and pastoral duties. That you took the time to write that. He was exceedingly popular. Keith Malley was the coolest in school every year. Fucked all the chicks.
He wrote that he was popular. Your mother was the sweetest person. He didn't even say she was beloved by many friends or made people smile who she came in contact with. None of like the niceties that you would even write just because your wife is dead.
Right.
But for him.
Right. Do you think you're going to sound corny if you say she's the nicest person you ever met?
She is the nicest person he ever met.
But instead you wrote, did okay in her own right.
Right.
Did okay.
I made her a princess. What did she do? She told me not to eat chocolate.
Right. He was extremely popular. And ready for a quote? I'm skipping a little bit.
They were extremely popular. Yeah. Even if they are extremely popular. This is why you don't write your obituary.
He had graduated first in class at this place, yada, yada, that place. One quote is, you cannot imagine, I don't know who's saying this. You cannot imagine how many questions a professor could ask a student in the 2 hours per class, but they expected me to know all the answers. That's something we remember Dad said in his life, I guess, about how good he was at school. It just came to us. We remember that. Just fun little anecdote for the paper, which we can't edit, apparently. Anyways, we said that.
But you're dead.
We were interviewed by the paper. The only obituary where they interview you. They don't just take what you say in your $20. They interviewed us.
That's how popular he was.
Yeah. Ready? Here's a new quote. He was dad. That word says it all, said his children. So he's like, what can I get them to agree to? I can at least get them to agree to he's our dad. So they'll say that, and that'll be good because people think it means more.
Wow.
That's all five of us said he was dad. That word says it all. Actually,
that means he was the best.
Mark said he was dad. Christy said that word says it all. And the rest of us nodded. Mm-hmm. He was so dad. Poetic. That word says it all. And then the quote continues. This is what we said. Ready? Enjoy God's eternal paradise, Father Malley. Father Mike. First of all, we could never call him Mike. But that's what we did. We called him Father Mike. Our dad, Father Mike. We always respected the father part. I don't know which of us believes in God. I think Mark just goes because it feels good. Most of us are atheists. Agnostic, at least. But okay. Take care, Father Mike.
It's so warm. It's so, I don't know, like it Hallmark needs a little tutorial from your dad.
Enjoy God's eternal paradise, Father Mike. And may we, your children and your friends, really. So I hope you mean children, and then differently, you mean friends, even though they don't exist, because you made it clear every morning we weren't friends.
But also, you just said he was dad. That says it all. Now we're dad and friends.
Right. Enjoy God's eternal paradise, Father Mike, oh, buddy of mine. And may we, your children and your friends, always find memories of you resting gently in the recesses of our minds.
That's actually what you should write at the end of all of your emails to him.
Right. So then it has the garments you're supposed to, that he wants to be in, all supplied, same rules with the ring. He gets a cross also, and he gets a red fluffy blanket covering body from slightly above waist to past feet. I don't know what this means, but I guarantee he saw a pope do it.
Okay.
She doesn't get the red fluffy blanket.
No. She's a princess.
That's not Byzantine princess, Carpathian, Russian technology. The man gets it as he's the king.
Honestly, I love this, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Some say only a king could make somebody a princess. Mally was too shy to continue. May he rest in God's hands. It's time for him to make God laugh.
Yeah. It's time for him to write a book for God in heaven. Look what I did, Father.
So there we go. That's the obituary.
Wow, your dad's the worst.
Yeah.
I keep thinking there can't be more.
There can't be.
Do. Yeah.
There always is.
Yeah. I feel like it'll end when he dies. And then I go, no, I don't think so.
No, because even though
more stuff will come out.
There's not a will because there's nothing, but he'll still find a way that, for him to read, for us to read final thoughts from him. That'll definitely happen. So that's going to be a thing like, and son, I do forgive you for the cat emails.
Oh,
like that.
He's not going to say it that directly. He's going to forgive you for being who you are.
Right.
Not the cat emails.
I forgive you for who you are, and hopefully you'll become better. I know that you're constantly looking for help.
I forgive you for what there is to forgive.
Right. And please don't lie to your siblings about it anymore. I love you.
Yes. And also get better because you are horrible. I'm not going to say that because I'm dead, but there's a lot better that you can do with my genes.
Well, Chemda has some big news. The way I understand it, I was just teased about it, which is an odd word for this. You in the past, you talked about a babysitter that you had, and you were feeling. It's weird to say it like this, but the way I understand it is you were feeling that you were most likely sexually abused in your sleep. Right.
Here's this. Okay. I had this babysitter. I remember 3 times. On the 3rd time, when my parents were ready to go, I flipped the fuck out. And I never do that. I don't think. Like, this seems like and I rarely remember my childhood. I remember this. And I remember freaking out to like, please don't leave, not him, as my babysitter. Don't leave me with him. And I remember the look on my parents' faces like, wow, she's really disturbed by something tonight. And again, like my memory is so weird at this point. And I remember, I think my father going like, come on, we're late. Right. And I was like, okay, I guess nothing bad is happening. Because if my parents are willing to leave and it's, important, then maybe I'm making it up. The thing that I was thinking I was making up is it seems that every time this babysitter came, the other 2 times, I woke up with his hand down my underwear.
Okay.
And I'm like, did I dream that, And then I'm thinking like, it's definitely under 10. So like what under 10-year-old dreams that consistently with this one person?
And you remember like being up, like maybe the next thing you did after that?
No, I didn't. I sort of like froze because I was like, oh, this can't be what's happening because who would want to do this? Because I always thought like sexual abuse was like them making you touch them or like a thing. Like what would an adult hand down someone's pants to. Like, that's not pleasurable for you. I can't determine what's happening here.
Right.
And all of this happened very quickly in my tiny little brain, and I couldn't exactly express it, but I just froze. And then I think he stopped, and then I just went back to sleep. But I can't remember after that. So I thought, okay, I was freaking out. And I said, to this time, I'm going to wait up because I'm going to see if it's a dream or not a dream. And I remember waiting, but of course I fell asleep eventually and nothing happened. So I thought, and I never saw him again. And I thought, I guess once I'm conscious, of course I didn't have these words. I guess once I'm conscious of this dream, it's not going to happen again because I'm making that up. Now I know I don't want to make it up. Like something like that isn't making sense because it doesn't all make sense to me, but those are the events that I remember.
And you definitely, right, obviously seem to believe it happened as opposed to didn't happen.
I don't know how I would dream all of that and be so freaked out. It's not like a zombie movie. It's not, you know what I mean? It was so clear. It's very strange. But
what do you mean by zombie movie?
Like, okay, maybe you saw a zombie in your life and then you're dreaming about a zombie. But this wasn't an act that I knew of, that I knew people do. So where did I even get this from? Like I didn't know what sex was, but I didn't think that is even part of it.
Right.
Whereas now we see it as like, oh, somebody's like giving you pleasure. I just thought like that's a weird thing to do.
And so you were debating about reaching out to this guy.
I occasionally have looked for him and never really found him, but now the internet is great. He's under Facebook under a different last name that I knew, but I always remembered his father's name because it was a fun name that I can't tell you.
Okay.
So I looked. No, it was like one of those like Gregory Gregerson. Like how do you have these like you know weird? Yeah. So I remembered that. I looked the father up on Facebook, and then things started, they fill in, and I found him, and I know it's him, and different last name, and then and
is he married? Like, do you debate that? Like, he has a family. Should I not say anything? This kind of thing.
He's clearly gay.
Okay.
That threw me off.
Right.
Because I'm female, and then I have to assume that that's different when you're a child and that's what you're going for. I don't know, know. I remember him as being much older than me, but that's probably perspective. I think he's only like 5 or 7 years older than me. 7
that's
maybe.
A lot. Okay.
So he must have been a teenager.
Right.
Babysitting. And what else? And I see him in front of a comedy venue sign with a mic in his hand.
He's a comic?
And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I think he's a comic is very loose. I think he's a wannabe comic. He has tried to, but mostly he's in another profession.
You know what you do? Well, these comics, they tell on themselves. Check out his comedy and see if like, oh, that's the kind of jokes this person would make.
Sure. It doesn't look like he's had opportunity that you would even have ever seen, or he had an opportunity to record anything. He hasn't, he just happens to be, like maybe he did an open mic a couple times or, was pretending to try it. He's not in the sphere of, I could even find his material. I don't think, but that's a good point. I could maybe look for it, but I'm like, okay.
I just want to tell the audience, sorry, we can't book him. Maybe when he gets more credits or something.
Well, I don't really know what to do because I finally was like, let me get in touch because I want to see the vibe, right? What a big mistake the whole way. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
So via Facebook, I don't know how to start. I figure like, don't start with accusations or anything like that. Let's just test the waters.
How you doing?
Yeah. So hi, this person's name. Do you remember me?
Okay.
That's it. I'm like, okay, like that's okay. And he goes, remind me, exclamation point. And I'm like, holy, how dare you not remember me? I felt that. I actually felt that. Like, are you fucking pretending or do you not remember me? Now, my name is Chemda Omat on Facebook. It's actually Chemda Khalili. But how many Chemdas did you know?
Right.
Granted, you're Israeli and you have an Israeli name that maybe other people don't know. And I've met other people with that name. So, okay. How
Right.
many were in your life? But okay, remind me now. Like, I actually got heated. I'm like, ew. And then I'm like, don't react. Think of the next thing. The next thing. Oh, I spelled this wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. You've babysitted me. That's what I wrote. That's what I landed on. You've babysitted me. And he goes, fucking doubling down. Really? Question mark, exclamation point. And right after that, who are your parents? I'm like, but you're so surprised now with the context of you used to babysit me. My name is Chemda. You're male. I don't know how many people let you babysit their kids because back then we were not doing that. It's very much an exception for me to have a male babysitter. And it was because our parents were so close to each other. I actually really liked his parents. They were very cool.
Right.
So that was the exceptions. How many babysitter fucking gigs did you have? Okay, fine. Who are your parents? So all I said was so and so and so and so Khalili, right? And he goes, OMG, exclamation point. Fuck you, you're older than me. Don't OMG me. Okay. OMG, how are you? How are your parents?
Okay.
And then now I'm just dejected. Now I'm just like, this is a stupid thing to do. This was a mistake. I was hoping for, because I had to think like, what was I hoping for? I was hoping to see some sweat. Like in any way. I know that we're texting.
The sweat emoji that people use for
not
dirt.
Like really how exciting. You know what I mean? I wanted like I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
But of course, like, what am I thinking? And then I was like, I don't know where to go from here. So I just dropped it. And I haven't unfriended him. You have to like friend people in order to get in touch. And then actually just right before the show, literally right before we went on, and I noticed a notification that says an hour ago, he asked me to like a page of his, like, you know, you have your regular friend page and then you have your work page. And I'm like, well, that could just be everybody, you know, like I'm asking all my friends to like my page, but it was so obviously I have to unfriend this person or keep messaging and finish my thought. I don't know what my thought is.
So what was the very last thing?
Oh my OMG, how are you? How are your parents?
Okay, I say so. You could stop.
So I'm
there.
Taking suggestions. Yeah. First of all, what do you think? Is
why not try to find peace? What did you expect? Of course, this is what's going to happen. So you want him to sweat? Assuming he did it, he's sweating. Know that.
Did he forget?
Who cares? But no, because he would have been 17 or so. You're saying no, he didn't forget.
No, like a younger teen. I know I was babysitting at like 12, which now when I think about it is weird. So he might have actually been 14. So weird. I remember him being so tall, so big.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know how you find.
There's nowhere else. There's nowhere to go. How are my parents? How am I?
Right. I think it's the best you can do is make him nervous because now you didn't write anything after that. That's odd. So he'll start reading into that. And
this is it. There's nothing else I could say, right?
It's not coming to me, but we have a brilliant audience.
Yeah. I'm specifically sharing this so I can get response. I think I'm being stupid, you know, like this is really dumb. This is not the way you get closure. And, I keep waiting for that and it's not going to happen.
But you always kind of wanted to do this and you did. So that's good.
Nah, I gotta say, no.
Oh.
No, it's not. And that's okay. You know, I like maybe in that there's a resolution. So maybe you're right. But yeah, no, because I don't know what didn't make me expect that he could be like fun about it. You know, I thought like a little less. I don't know, a little more ambiguity.
Hey, did something weird happen when we were kids? You're hoping he writes that to you.
I mean, that's dumb, but that's one of the scenarios that would be a dream. But yeah, in one of my dream like whatevers, where I meet with him and I'm like, look, you know, the statute of limitation is over.
Right.
And now that I know you were a teenager also. So I don't know what weird shit you might have grown out of because that's different than being an adult.
I just rewatched the movie Freedom Land, and it's very good. But people might recognize this if they've seen it. But would you be satisfied if you were with him and you just nod your head if you remember doing that? Just a fucking nod, and he nods his head. Could you let it go, and would that be good news?
That would be great news, because no matter what, I'm always living in the did this really happen? And I hate that. That's the worst part. Like, just let me know, like, why am I making this up? If he can just confirm, then I could just be like, okay, that happened. That's weird. Yeah. I'm not making this up. I didn't cry for no reason. This was always an odd, like, I think I am waiting for him to confirm it, and that would feel so much better.
Yep.
And I think so weird to, like, I could forgive it, because it's weird to hear, like, okay, he's a younger teenager, and I think that could be a weird, it's different than being an adult and making that decision.
Sure.
So I would love to talk about it. One time I saw a TED talk of like a rapist and the person he raped, and they were doing a TED talk together, and they're friends. And I was like, wow, this is huge. But then one time I saw a thing about pedophiles, and this one, I need to rewatch it or something, because I'm like, that's not what this person just said, is it? And I'm still thinking like I might be giving out misinformation, which I guess is where I have this kind of behavior. It's like, oh, this must not really happen. This is so weird, it can't happen. So that's where I put this genre of information. But this woman was like, yeah, I'm a pedophile. Like it was from pedophiles, and they covered some of them and didn't cover some of them. And she said, I remember this one time, a girl, something happened to her vagina, a little girl. I don't know if she hit it or something. And she took her to the bathroom to take care of her. While her mother stepped out for a second, she put a finger in her vagina. Like, just real quick, and then took it out like nothing happened. The girl was just in shock, did nothing, and then proceeded to continue like everything was normal. And I'm picturing this girl thought like, oh, that's nothing, just that's part of it. This person's just acting normal. Why would anyone want to put fingers in my vagina? And I'm like, I heard this wrong, right? Like, what pleasure are you getting out of this? Like, what is happening? This is such a diseased mind.
Right.
Why would you do that? To conquer, to what? Why would that act be the thing that you do? There's no. Ugh. So that's what I sort of compare it to. Like, I never knew why you did that, so it must not have happened.
All right.
I know. More questions than answers, really, right?
I guess so.
I don't know.
I would be pleased knowing he's sweating. That's just me.
But you're just assuming that.
What else am I going to do?
I guess.
Yeah. Right. It's also weird that he didn't text back and go, where'd you go? Hello, let's follow up on this fun story. Yeah, I remember you. Oh, I see you're whatever.
I don't know that I would keep going. Who are you? You just came out, you dropped it. Like, unless I'm interested in suddenly being your friend at a note. I don't know. You got in touch, you got busy. I don't know.
Comedians want to be liked, so.
I don't know if he's a comedian, but I definitely saw him like trying comedy. So
Sure.
But then I thought, oh, let me get this guy in the show. Let me not, before I got in touch with him, like, oh, let me get you on the show, reveal that I am a person who used to babysit. Any thoughts? And then I thought, who's going to be like, yeah, I do have a thought, actually.
Well, this is weird. Right. And I'm going to say, and this is still recording, it said. Okay.
Statute of limitation is up. So let me just put it out there. And I wanted to apologize for a long time. This is a great way to do it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the audience thinks.
Yeah. So
that's how I run my life.
Yeah.
Let the audience decide.
Yeah. It's very strange to tell your boyfriend, like, okay, I'm going to share with the audience today because I'm going to need more thoughts.
Right. My life's a choose your own adventure. So I'm going to see what I got to do.
Right. Today's the day, folks. So this was like 2 weeks ago. This was
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's weird that there wasn't a follow-up from him, but who knows? That's my 2 cents.
All right.
2 cents means I'm not accepting any other cents.
All right, here's what not to do. Write me about this on Facebook. Do not do that. Okay. I am accepting Reddit and forums.
Okay.
That's where we're going to put our opinions. We don't need anything else to happen. Thank you. This is between us. It's I actually did wait for a just me and Keith episode. We don't need to,
right.
Have someone else's. I don't know. I feel like if a new a guest was here, it'd be like, okay, I don't know what to say. This was very strange. Like, no, we're just casually talking about how I may or may not have been molested, and I got in touch with the guy.
But if you figure out who the guy is, click like. Everybody likes to see that. You know that. No, and that's the thing. Ignoring actually on Facebook is the best way to make people go away, because if you put attention on them, then negative or positive, they really do get what they want. So please don't. Well, they're not going to know anyway. It doesn't matter. I was being silly, but all right. Well, we'll see. And that's that. Well, that was some show.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it again soon.